Hey, this is Paul Lathrop from the Polite Society Podcast, reminding you that this podcast is a member of the Self-Defense Radio Network. Check out all the other great podcasts on the network at selfdefenseradio.net.
This episode of Unload and Show Clear is made possible by our patrons, Mike Zukowski, Joe Bowden, Jay Heil, Doug Collins, and Jackie Russo. Thank you. To find out how you can support the show, visit unloadpodcast.com/patrons.
Welcome to Unload and Show Clear. And now, here's your host, the slayer of non-threats, Lloyd Bailey.
Welcome to Unload and Show Clear, episode number 160. I'm your host, Slayer of Non-Threats, Lloyd Bailey. This is a show about the men and women of the International Defensive Pistol Association, IDPA, the everyday people who make this sport what it is. They volunteer their time, their money, their hard work to improve their skills, to grow the sport, to put on matches for all the fans of the sport, the competitors of who participate in this sport around the country every week. And in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the results from one of those events from Pennsylvania. We'll be talking to a competitor who we have talked about in our review of a previous match, and we'll look ahead to what's coming in the weeks ahead as we roll through the rest of January and into February, and we look as we start moving, the schedule moves from east to west, kind of circles. As we mentioned in the last episode, in episode 159, everything kind of circles around between Pennsylvania and Florida for a few weeks, and then we head west as the weather starts to warm up a little bit as we get into early spring. We head west to Texas and Missouri. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and we will meet a brand new guest today. First, let's talk about the Arctic Blast IDPA Championship. This was the 11th, I did not know this, the 11th annual Arctic Blast Championship hosted by the Wilkes-Barre Rifle and Pistol Club. And Carry Optics master Michael Fiore from Middletown, Delaware, posted the top overall time and won the Carry Optics division title. Close behind him, though, winning the ESP division crown was Master David Olhasso from Southampton, Pennsylvania. David is a 5-gun master and a distinguished master in CDP and CCP. I've reached out to David, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll see if I can get him on the show in the future. I also reached out to Michael Fiore as well, so again, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Expert Ben Boyer from East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, won the SSP Division Championship. Jerry Gregg from Mountaintop, Pennsylvania, won the CCP Division. And I love this next guy. I love this guy's name, Bill Vigilante from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. You just don't get any better than that name. I'm sorry. Best name in IDPA in the country, by far. It just conjures up this awesome picture of a guy in chaps and spurs and a 10-gallon hat with a big 45 on his hip. Don't mess with Bill Vigilante. Well, Bill won the CDP division title. Congratulations, sir. Very nice. 7-gun master Ken Ortbach from Hellertown, Pennsylvania, took the revolver title, and it was nice to see there were a good number of wheel gun shooters in the match. And Sandra Zettelmoyer from Fogelsville, Pennsylvania, won High Lady shooting in the ESP division. Congratulations to all of the competitors, to all of the winners, and to the staff and match director Jerry Gregg for putting on another successful match. 11 in a row. Let's make it 12. All right. Hopefully next week we'll have results from the South Mountain Showdown. We talked We talked last episode that there were 2 matches at the beginning of January, the South Mountain Showdown, the Arctic Blast, and I was hoping that the results would be available in time for this episode. Unfortunately, the South Mountain Showdown results have not been made final yet, so we won't be able to review those today. Hopefully, we will be able to do that in episode 161. Coming up this weekend, we've got the Florida State Championship from Frostproof, Florida. Then here's where I was talking about. We go back and forth up and down the East Coast. Then the first weekend in February, we'll see the Chesapeake Cup in Lexington Park, Maryland. Then it's back over to the Keystone State for the Castle Pistol Club Indoor Winter Classic in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Then back to Florida for the South Florida Defensive Challenge in Homestead. That'll round out February before we head west, like I said, for the Gulf Coast Regional down towards Houston in March. And so lots and lots of IDPA in the weeks ahead. Lots to talk about here on the show. Really looking forward to it. It's nice nice to have everything back up and going and some semblance of normalcy. So, all right. So that's all of that out of the way. Hopefully we'll be talking about a couple more matches next episode. But now it's time to introduce you to this week's special guest. Our special guest today is Ramiro Macias from Pike Road, Alabama. Ramiro, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Lloyd.
So tell us a little about yourself. What do you do? Where is Pike Road?
Pike Road is it's part of Montgomery County,
Okay.
outside city limits, pretty much east side of Montgomery.
Okay. What do you do for a living there?
I work for the state of Alabama, Medicaid. They call me an enterprise applications manager.
Okay.
Pretty much anything that's like a web-based software, specifically SharePoint, Laserfish.
Okay. You're not one of those guys.
Document management, records management, things like that.
Okay. You're not one of the guys that's calling me all the time, reminding me that it's time to renew, that the new healthcare options are available, right?
No, no. People ask me like Medicaid questions. I'm like, I'm just kind of like the IT guy. I support all the people that know all those answers.
Gotcha. Okay. Alabama native?
Yep.
All
I was
right.
born in Montgomery.
Okay. Accent sounded like it, so I thought I would ask. Where did you grow up in the Montgomery area?
Yes.
Okay. Where did is right outside the city or always in kind of a
We've always been in the city. My parents moved to Pike Road, I think in '95, and at the time it was in the middle of nowhere, countryside, nothing nearby, everything's far away. Since then, it's grown a lot.
So now it's kind of a suburb?
It's just a nice area, lots of neighborhoods, shopping nearby, restaurants nearby.
Okay.
We got a school. We're zoned for the Pike Road School, which is one of the reasons that we wanted to get a house here.
Okay. So you decided to come back home and stay home. Okay.
Yeah, and we're really close to my parents. That was another big thing.
Gotcha.
That's nice being close.
Okay. So where did the interest in guns come from?
I've always liked guns when I was a little kid. Anything from those little plastic cap guns you buy at the toy section of the grocery store.
Which ones?
I don't know if they still sell them. Little red revolvers that you put little caps in it and they just pop.
The paper, the rolls of paper.
They're paper. The rolls of paper, those, and the ones that were like plastic.
You never forget that smell.
Yeah. Those, water guns, Nerf guns. My dad's a big deer hunter. I never really got into rifles. My vision was really bad, so I felt like I couldn't see anything.
Oh.
And then I just always thought guns were cool.
Okay. Did you try hunting and just couldn't see, or?
Yeah, he would take me when I was little, like 8 years old, 10 years old, and it was just boring, just sitting
Yeah.
in a tree stand, sitting in a shooting house, falling asleep. I enjoy it more now because I like to get the meat and cook it and stock my freezer full of it.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Now I enjoy it now, 30 years later.
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah. When I was younger, I tried the hunting thing with friends, and it was like, didn't you see the squirrel? I was like, no.
Yeah, he would point things out, and sometimes I would pretend I could see it because I could tell he was just like, it's right there in front of you. And I'd just shoot, and of course I'd miss, and he'd be like, ah.
At
I
least,
didn't get my first deer until I was like maybe 30.
oh,
And he wouldn't take me that much, but I just couldn't hit anything, couldn't see anything, falling asleep.
gotcha.
But yeah, I wasn't until I think I turned 30 when I shot my first deer.
What was the transition from where did the love of guns obviously, encompasses all things, but how did you slide from rifles to handguns?
When I turned 21, we went to Bass Pro. My dad took me, and I bought my first gun. It was a Glock 19. I did all the research. Everyone said Glock 19 is the best. And back then I was like, it was gonna be like my carry gun. I was all into like concealed carry, and they said it was just the best gun, Glock perfection.
So even at
And
21, you were thinking about concealed carry.
yeah,
Okay.
I was looking forward to it so I could go buy it on my own. Then I just went out in like a public range, or like somebody's hunting land, and me and my buddies would just go shoot paper plates, cans, anything. And I would watch YouTube videos about how to like draw and
Right.
drills, but you really weren't doing anything.
Right.
We're just kind of messing around.
Just plinking.
Yep.
Right. So how did you hear about competitive shooting?
My dad has always been a member of a gun club, and I can't remember if I joined first or if I just heard about these matches, and I finally, I kept putting it off. I never wanted. I didn't think I was good enough. I finally watched enough videos and talked to enough people to just go shoot, and it was a USPSA match, and I think it was 2015 or 2016. And then I shot that, and I didn't really have a lot of fun. It was no one was talking. They were really serious. It didn't seem very friendly to me. And then I think I shot it again, and it was the same. And then they did USPSA on Sunday, and IDPA was Saturday. So I did an IDPA match next, and as soon as you get there, it was just like a completely different crowd. The squad I was with would not stop talking. They were just joking and laughing and making jokes, and they wouldn't shoot. It was like they were just hanging out, and I didn't like it either because I was like, this is taking forever. These guys are just they're a lot older, and then I did it again, and I think the second time I shot IDPA, I was with like Seth and
Seth Hayden. Okay.
Seth Hayden and a few others. That like now we all shoot together. And it was just so much fun. They were fast. They were helpful. They were joking on everything. I was laughing. They were laughing. As soon as I shot that match, I was like, this is so much fun. And I just kept going back, and I kept trying to shoot with them. And it was hard because I didn't remember any of their names. So I would show up, and the guy named Skip Darden now, I remember he was really nice, and he talked to me a lot. And the next match, I tried finding him, and I couldn't remember his name. I didn't know what it looked like. I knew his name, but I didn't know I couldn't match his face with who he was. So it took me a while to figure out to find that same group of people at the next match. But I finally
Are
found
you
them,
better
and then I
with
kinda
names
stuck
or
with them.
faces?
Like neither. Like now I'm better at now you got Facebook. It's so easy to find people and figure out what they look like and who they are. But back then I was like, there's a guy named Skip, and is it that guy, or it could be that guy, or it could be him. I don't know who it is. And I'm really shy, so I like didn't want to go up to somebody and say like, hey, what's your name
All
again?
those
Or,
Alabama
can you
guys
give me
look
your
alike.
Can you give me your phone number? Can we meet up again, or can you teach me something? I didn't really want to talk to anyone.
So what was, aside from, okay, it's a bunch of guys standing around talking and chatting and laughing, what was the shooting experience like for you that first IDPA match?
I did. I mean, I placed. I didn't place last. I don't know. I really can't remember. I just know it was something that I wanted to get better at. And to me, when I do something new, I will like go out head first, deep end, figure out everything I can learn about this thing. And I'll like just read everything, watch everything YouTube, almost become obsessed with it. But it was like something I knew I wanted to do.
Okay.
And part of the reason was before that I was into weightlifting and powerlifting, and I kept getting hurt. So I was like, I think I also needed to do something different that wasn't gonna, hurt my back or, hurt my shoulder or something like that. And this was
where the worst thing that could
kinda
happen to
replacing
you
the
is
other
you get
thing.
shot and killed, but the chance of it happening is really
I've got injured
really slim.
weightlifting so many more times than I've seen any shooting related injuries.
Right,
I've been doing
exactly.
this is very safe compared to what I was doing. I don't know if it's just I was just bad at it or I was just reckless, but I was getting hurt all the time.
But being kind of a tech guy, you had done some research going into that first match. So was that first match, did you see anything that surprised you? Or were you like, okay, I've seen this before. I saw that on a video, or was any of it surprising or exciting or new, or was it like, oh, this is cool. Okay, I've seen that.
I knew, I was familiar with like the safety part of it, like the make ready, the unload, show clear. It was all the other rules. Like back then there's no fault lines. It was about cover.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reloading rules were different. I didn't realize how many rules there were. I read about all the rules, but it's like when you actually once the buzzer goes off, you kind of forget a lot of things.
Yeah.
So that happened a lot, but that kind of made me like it even more because I wanted to learn all the rules and figure out how not to get penalized next time. That took a while too because it is a lot to remember.
Yes. It's quite the
but yeah,
voluminous rule book.
It's just a lot of fun.
So how long after that before you felt like you were ready to try your hand at one of the sanctioned matches with the guys with the NASCAR shirts on?
Not long. I think it was the first my local club had a state match in 2016. I think that's the first one that that is the first one I did.
Okay.
And I had signed up for it. I paid the match fee, and then the match director sent me an email and said, "Hey, we need more help. Do you want to help out?" And I'm like, sure. I guess I can shoot, then help out. And then he immediately refunded my match fee, and he was like, "Get here at some time, or get here the day before. You can shoot for free, and then show up the next day and help out." And I was like, "This is awesome! I shot for free." So that kind of made me want to like volunteer at the next local match that they had, which I think we did have one in 2017. And then Birmingham had one. But that first sanctioned match, it was just like, to me, it just felt like a local match. My mentality was just, I'm just shoot it like I shoot the monthly matches. I didn't
Right.
really get
And it's
nervous about it,
right.
Um,
And it's a little different approaching, and it's a little different shooting it when you're shooting it with staff compared to going in shooting it your first time as a competitor only. Little bit different because you're still, like you said, it has that kind of that local match feel because you're with the guys.
yeah, and that's true. It was, I wasn't nervous at all because it was the same people that I've always shot with, and um, I don't know, maybe it's because I didn't pay the match fee also, so I was like, I got nothing to lose. Like, I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm gonna lose my money.
All I got in this is sweat equity anyway.
Yeah,
So.
but it was just a lot of fun hanging out with the same group of people in your squad, and then everyone that goes through your stage shakes your hand and says thank you, and you kind of like meet everyone else, and I still remember a lot of people I met that first match. They still shoot sanctioned matches every now and then. I run into them.
Very cool.
It was fun. It was a fun experience for sure.
So do you get out and travel outside of Alabama much and shoot a match and not work it, or do you travel and work matches as well?
The only match I've worked since then, I think there's a 2017 Alabama match, and then I helped set up for the Worlds last year.
Okay.
And that was it. I just got my SO certification. I also got that last year. I think I got it just in time for Worlds, or I think my local club was trying to do a tier 2 match this year. I think that's the reason why I got the SO certification.
Gotcha.
But no, mostly just then I'll pay the match fee, get the hotel, go travel, come back home the same day.
Okay. So generally within driving distance and matches that you can get to, shoot, and then come back.
Yeah, it's been Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida. I think that's it.
You're situated in a pretty good spot though, because you've got within driving distance, like you said, you've got some pretty good clubs and matches every year that you can reach in a day's drive.
Yep. My club used to do one, and then Birmingham, which is less than 2 hours away from where I live, they would do the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
So that was 2 in Alabama, and then Mississippi and Georgia and Tennessee. They got a bunch right now. And it's kind of fun because we have a group chat and they just be like, hey, there's this match in Tennessee is 3 months from now or like 8 months away. Who wants to do it? And then we'll all sign up for it. So it's like, all right, well, 8 months later, I need to remember to sign up for this match, and
you've got
somewhere I've never been before.
A whole squad with your buddies. Okay, very cool. So talk about some of those experiences. Got a fun experience on the road, or not so fun experience, or a match that you look back on and you're really proud of, or you think back and say, wow, I can't believe I did that. Share some of your road experiences with us.
Road experiences. I think the one that was the first. When did I shoot? I can't remember what year it was, but it was the Space Coast Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
That was in I think Fort Malabar, Florida, which is kind of near Orlando, and a lot of the guys from Montgomery were shooting it, and I convinced she was my girl. I don't think she's my fiance yet. I think she was my girlfriend came with me, and I told her the only reason why she came was because we were going to go to Universal Studios the next day. So me and her drove down, and we shot, and I get there, and name can't remember. I can't believe I forgot his name. Brandon something with Smith and Wesson. I can't remember his last name.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google this real quick. He was in our squad. So it was like Montgomery guys and this Brandon Wright from Smith and Wesson. I was like, this is a professional shooter in our squad. I looked at him like, are you in our squad? He goes, yeah, and I'm like in shock. I'm like, holy cow, I know this guy. He's on Facebook. He's on Instagram. And I mean, my squad was full of. I was a marksman, and my squad had like masters and experts, and they were all really really good shooters. And that was just a fun match because we had the Montgomery crew, we had this professional shooter, and then my girlfriend was there, and then we went to Universal the next day, and I was looking forward to it the next year, but nobody wanted to travel. It was like a 9-hour drive, and like nobody wanted to go again. And they just had it recently, and every time they have, or I think the next year they didn't have it. The year after that, my wife was always like, "Oh, we should go back and go to Universal. That was so much fun." So that's probably one of my favorite matches, is because she was there, and it was like a 3-day weekend for us, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And it was a pretty hard match too. And I shot it well. I got first place marksman SSP, and I remember beating a bunch of sharpshooters too, and I was like super pumped about it. And then like 2 weeks later, they send me the trophy in the mail, and it was my first trophy. That was first place, and it's kind of dorky, but it's still hung up at I have a bar at the house, and it's there.
Not dorky at all. You'd be amazed at how many people have those little cheap plaques hung up on their walls. I have plenty of.
And then
the second and third place ones.
I have a lot of second, third. I have I think the Alabama match I got at 6th place one, and I was like, so weird. It gave me a 6th place marksman trophy.
I have a stamp size 5th place one. I think it's.
And I was like, I think there's only like 8 of us. Like,
right.
A lot of matches kind of. I think the rules as far as trophy goes is I think they're kind of just whatever they want to do, and
I think they buy them in advance, and it's like, well, we've got it. We might as well give it away. Yeah, my 5th place trophy is like slightly bigger than a credit card.
I have the Space Ghost trophy right in front of me actually, and it's class.
Very cool.
It's pretty small, but it's just like I just thought it was cool because it was kind of put up to light, and it kind of you can see like the outline of the Space Ghost first place.
Very nice. And you are now a master in SSP.
Yes.
So talk about that. So we now know how you got from marksman to sharpshooter. How do you go from sharpshooter? Because it's a little tougher. I've talked to a number of shooters who, like, very first match, they jump straight into the sharpshooter pool and find out it's not really easy to make that jump from there to expert, or they don't get a bunch of trophies. They jump right into sharpshooter or right into expert, and they don't get to enjoy all the little plaques. What was that path from sharpshooter to master? How did you do that?
A sharpshooter, I got a bump. It was the flip the year, but it was a Mississippi Showdown, and it was a match. It was a really really cool match. They did the first half day was, I think, like bug and PCC or something, and then the second half of the day was
this last year?
I think it was like 2 years ago. But they did all the divisions in 2 days. So it was like in the first half was 2 divisions, second half was the other 2, then the next day was like SSP and ESP.
Right. One match fee, you could shoot 3 guns.
Yeah. I only did 2. I did CCP and SSP. It was in 2019.
Yep.
And I think I got a bump to sharpshooter in CCP and SSP in that weekend.
Nice.
And I wish I had done bug, but I didn't have a bug or a revolver, or I don't know if I did PCC, but I didn't have one of those either. That was that's where I got the bump to both of those. I think. Pretty sure that's where I got the bump for those. And then at Worlds, I got the bump to SSP. I got third place expert at Worlds. And I beat enough masters to get the bump.
Nice.
And then Sheepdog 2019, like a month later, I got a bump to master in CCP. So that was a fun year because I got like 2 bumps, or I guess 4 bumps.
4 bucks.
So I was very excited about that year.
Yep. 2019 was certainly much better than 2020. Talk about the Worlds. That was I was there, didn't get to shoot. I got to see the stages, and I know the weather was challenging for some of the squads. What was talk about your day or your 2 days? What was that match like?
Yeah, so I didn't have any points. I don't think I had no point. I had like 4 points or 5 points.
Oh God.
And I was like, I think I set a reminder on my phone to, I guess you had to apply for it or register, and I forgot. And then I asked Seth, because I know he was working it. He was doing something. He had, Seth Hayden. I don't know if he was
assistant match director.
I think he was just working it. He was something. I was like, Seth, I was like, I'm not an SO, but I really want to shoot it. Can you talk to whoever's running it, see if I can volunteer to help set up? I was like, I can't be there for the whole because it's a 2-week setup deal. I was like, I can't be there the whole 2 weeks. If I can just go set up and shoot it, let me know. If not, I was like, next year. And then he talked to I think it was Rick Lund, and he was like, yeah, you can come show up this day and set up for this week. I was like, cool. I was like, show up Tuesday, and then we shoot Friday and Saturday and Sunday. We show up and we finish setting up after like 2 or 3 days, and then we shot the match. So it was like Friday, and I was like, I'm going home, Seth. Or he was like, okay. And I was like, hey, Rick, thanks for. I felt bad leaving. I was like, man, I'm here for like 3 days, and then I shoot this match, and I was like, there's nothing. I was like, I don't know what else to do. I can't SO. I can't set up anything else. So I was like, kind of felt weird leaving. But
so
I did show
up. At that
up
point,
the
you
last
didn't have
day
your
they had
SO
it,
exam, right?
I'm like, hey, I'm here. What do you need me to do? So they gave me a walkie-talkie, and I rode around a golf cart, and whoever they called me, I went over there, and I did whatever they needed to do. I think they said I was a Mr. Fix-It. I didn't fix a lot of stuff, but I would brought them targets or stapled something or hammered a stake in the ground or
whatever it took.
Yeah, but that was it was fun.
And then so you leave after that after shooting, and when do you find out your results? Did you have any idea that? How did it feel when you wrapped up? Did you feel like you had shot a good match, or did you have really no idea?
I felt like I shot well, but I felt slow because that match, everything was covered in t-shirts, which I've never done before, and they had like a weekend only stage, which I'm awful at weekend strong hand only things. So I left the match, and I was like just so tired. I remember getting home super late, and I showed up that Sunday. I think that's the last day, and the scores were posted, and I was like, oh, third place, and I counted. And I was like, oh, I didn't get a bump, but I'll go to the award ceremony and hang out with everyone. And then they call my name to get the trophy, and they announced I got a bump, and I'm like freaking out the inside. I'm like, holy cow, I'm a master. And I was like, I think I got up there, and Joyce Wilson gave me my trophy, and she gave me a coin that said match bump, and I was like, are you sure you counted correctly? like are you sure?
That's very cool. And then you get to turn around and you get to shoot another really amazing event, the Sheepdog, which is in. How far is Valdosta from you? How far is that match from you?
Like 4 to 5 hours. 4 to 5.
Okay.
It's not far at all. Of course, I don't drive to matches. I'll hitch a ride with somebody that's just driving there, and I give them some gas money, and I usually fall asleep in the back seat.
There you go.
I can sleep anywhere. So they're always waking me up and make a joke about me sleeping in the back seat. But I heard so much about Sheepdog. I think like the last 2 years they had it, it was full like the first day or two,
Mm-hmm.
and it was also like in the like a 10 hours away, and I didn't really couldn't get excited about driving that far. But when it got to Valdosta, I was like had my phone the day they were going to open the registration, and I'd signed up immediately. Um, that was a fun match too. We had a really good squad.
Now that was
of
on.
course, a lot of
was
friends from Montgomery were with me too.
That was on multiple days as well, wasn't it?
Yes, that was Stab Shot Friday, and they had the other shooters Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
And we shot Sunday.
Talk about that particular match. What is it about CCP that is fun and challenging for you, and what is it that's interesting about that particular match?
I like it because I shoot my carry gun in it. It's the exact same setup, except for the holster and vest. So it might be. It is my favorite division to shoot because it is my carry gun.
Mm-hmm.
The exact same setup, and shooting it as with everyone else is shooting it. It's not that different because everyone is shooting 8+1, 8 rounds of magazines.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of fun when you're shooting it at a normal match and you might be the only CCP shooter in your squad. You see everyone running their stage and you're like, oh, that was such a good idea. Boy, I can't do that. I only have 9 rounds in my gun. It takes a lot. I like thinking about it. I shot one match this year and I was the only CCP shooter, and I had a lot of fun trying to come up with a way to run a stage efficiently and not have like a flat-footed reload, and it was fun. I'm kind of bad at coming up with ways to not do flat-footed reloads. I'll have a plan, and then like at the Sheepdog, I have a plan in my head, and I'll see someone shoot it immediately, and I'm like, oh, that's so much better than what I was gonna do. I'm like, I was gonna shoot 2 rounds and everything. He just shot 3, and he just flies to the stage without even having to stop moving. I'm like, okay, let's copy that, and I try to copy it. Sometimes it works out. It usually doesn't. I'll copy it too late. I change my plan, and everything gets messed up.
Yeah, that's usually what happens if I change my plan too late. The wheels come off really fast.
Yep.
Master in carry optics as well. Where did that happen?
That was the TriState border disorder.
Oh, okay.
That happened this year in July.
Okay.
That was a big surprise to me because it was originally set for April of this year, but because of COVID, they pushed it to July. And my daughter was born in May 10th, and we're in the NICU with her for about 3 weeks in Birmingham. So when we got home, I knew I had the match, but I really wasn't like excited about it. I didn't do a lot of live fire. I couldn't do a lot of live fire. I dry fired a few times. I might have live fire like 100 rounds every the weekend or so. I just couldn't get I was kind of in a rut.
Mm-hmm.
So I show up and I'm shooting with 2 friends, and I'm like, I kind of told them, I kind of acted like I wasn't excited. I was like, in my head, oh, this is going to be the match that's going to get me going again. I'm going to get excited after this match. I'm going to, get all excited and get my dry fire, my daily dry fire routine, my weekly, 100 round, 200 round practice session in. And I was shooting it, and my friend was shooting it with me. Like the second stage, he's like, "Oh wow, you're X amount of seconds ahead." And I'm like, "Don't tell me." I'm like, "It is a guy that was that was a really good shooter." And I was like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure he's gonna like smoke me and probably beat everyone." But like a few stages, he's like, "Oh, you're like 10 seconds ahead of me," and I'm like, "Don't tell me that." Like I hate it. I don't hate it, but like when people tell you that you're beating them, it kind of like gets in your head, and it messes me up because I'm thinking about winning.
Right.
I was like, I was just here to have fun, and now like I need to check the scores and see how I'm stacking up with everyone else, with the other people that shot.
Right.
The staff that shot. I'm like comparing my scores with them, and I was trying not to do that, but it's really hard when you're there and someone tells you you're having a good match, and you're like, oh, let me see how good I'm doing, and
Is that something you try to avoid doing generally,
yeah,
or do you
yes.
generally try to keep up with your scores as you're going through the match?
No, I'll put down how many points I'm down, just so at the end of the match, if there's like a discrepancy, I can get it fixed.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember my time. I try not to check practice score and keep up with other people. Um, I don't want to think about it.
Right.
I just want to shoot and do the best that I can. And when we're sitting around for scores, and I check it, and when I'm checking practice score on my phone doesn't refresh the score, so I have to like log out and log in and like reboot my phone and clear everything out, and finally get it all up and running, and I'm in first place for the whole match, and I'm like this can't be right. I was like first place for everything, and I was like, oh wow, that's never happened. And that was a really cool match. I remember being really happy going home and texting my wife, and she she she's really proud when I shoot, but you kind of tell her, oh, I got first place out of in my class, which is like that it could be like three people, and it's like, oh, good job, babe, you're so good. And I'm like, not really, like there's only like three people shooting, it's not that good. Or be a local match, and I'm like, oh, I got first place out of seven people,
But she doesn't
and
need to know that. That's great.
yeah,
Great for the ego.
yeah. But for that one, I was like yes, I got first place out of like 100 people. I was like bragging to her about it.
That's
But
awesome.
that was the bump to master for carry optics.
Very cool. What's
Um,
the next one? What's the next goal for you? What are you hoping to achieve next?
um, Next goal.
It's revolver, right?
I just got. My dad gave me his 1911.
Ooh.
Um, so I need. It's a. I think it's a bad year to get into it with ammo prices, and like I can't find any primers. But I really want to get into that. I think the 1911 has always been a really cool gun, and I've never shot 45 caliber before. And I think this year, I know at 2021 there's like a 1911 only match in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kentucky's got a match in August that's 1911 and revolver only. Um, I don't want to do that, but with the way ammo is and all that, I'm probably gonna um, switch back to carry optics. I have a match in January in Florida that I'm doing CCP. Um, but after that, I would like to get back at carry optics.
The way ammo prices are going, I'm thinking a lot of not for competition and 22 at this point.
It's definitely put a hurting on our local club matches.
Yeah.
Just attendance is pretty low. I actually think our next match got canceled. Just a lot of people are going to be out of town anyway because of holidays and all that.
Right.
But yeah, we used to have a good amount of like 30 people. Now we kind of get 20 or less sometimes.
Mm.
There's definitely ammo prices and COVID plays a big deal in it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we kind of round things out here, what is it you discovered early on the difference in in the local matches between USPSA and IDPA, and I suspect I know what the answer here is going to be. What is it about IDPA that keeps you coming back? What is it about IDPA that you love, that you find interesting, challenging, fun? Why do you why do you invest the time that you do in the sport? What do you love about it?
Of course, it's the friends I'm shooting with. It's the same group of guys every time. If they were shooting USPSA, I don't know if I would shoot USPSA then. I like so USPSA used to be on Sundays only, and I could never shoot on Sunday. I had other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until this year, I think 2020 or last year, they made it a Saturday match. So I'll go shoot it every now and then. But it's completely different to me. The targets are just they're I don't want to say they're easier because I've seen some hard USPSA matches
Mm-hmm.
with like 40-yard shots and tons of hard cover and all that. But um, I don't know if it's just my local club, but if I'm comparing my local club with IDPA and USPSA, I just like the IDPA matches better. Um, and that has a lot to do with it. If our IDPA matches weren't any good, I wouldn't be shooting it. Um, Birmingham, which is with the other gun club that had really good matches, they stopped doing it for it felt like a year. But my club and another club um, called East Alabama, they were the only ones doing Saturday matches.
Mm.
And so that's what I would shoot. That had a lot to do with it starting out. But now I don't like everyone I met at IDPA. The people, I understand the rules. I got the equipment for it already. It's really about the people.
Right.
They definitely make the experience. Everyone you meet, you see them at the next match, and they remember who you are. You
Even if you
you
don't
know the
remember what they
you know
look
the
like.
yeah, you'd be like, oh, I know. You'd be like, oh, that guy's. I met him at so and so. His name's Mark. I know the other guy named Mark, or you got you just meet people and the SO does a whole they're reading the stage briefing, they introduce themselves, and then you thank them for working it, and you'll see them again at the next match because they'll be working it there too.
Right.
Um, and it's just cool seeing the same people put in the time
Yeah.
to volunteer, and you're paying, and they're putting the time in, so you enjoy it there.
Yeah.
And I know on USPSA they do it too. But I've never shot a sanctioned USPSA match. I would like to. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but um,
Different atmosphere.
different atmosphere. I know some people there. The guy that we shot, Sheepdog, who wins all the time, he shoots USPSA a lot. So I'd probably like bug him and like, can I ride with you? I'll give you gas money. Tell me I'll shoot it just like you.
Right.
But it's hard. Like, you gotta, it's a lot of thinking too.
And you got
But
to.
I think that makes it fun too. You're trying to, if your gun holds 10 rounds or your gun holds 23,
Yeah.
you have a whole different stage plan, and then everyone does it differently.
Yeah.
IDPA, this most recent Sheepdog match, they had some stages where you could run it several different ways, and it was fun trying to come up with a way that wasn't awful. And then you'll see someone else, and you're like, oh, he did it so much better than me. Or there'd be a mover going, and you're like, oh, that's could have easily done it this way and still had time to do something else. So
Yeah.
I like matches like that. So I know I would like USPSA if I gave it a shot. I just haven't given it a shot.
Well, Ramiro, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. I really do appreciate it. And I hope I get a chance to run across you on the range this year.
Yeah, me too. I'll sign up for some majors and hopefully we can run into each other.
That sounds good. Thanks again.
All right, thank you.
All right, that is all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to our special guest for joining us today. Our next episode, coming in 2 weeks, episode 161, we'll be reviewing the results from the South Mountain Showdown, hopefully. We'll hopefully have the results from the Florida State Championship as well. South Mountain Showdown was, I think, last weekend, and Florida State is this weekend. So there's a couple of weeks there for IDPA to get all that finalized and get it posted. So I think we should have those two matches to review in next week's episode. And then we'll look forward to the remainder of February and do a little looking ahead to the Western matches out here in Texas and Missouri in March, starting with, as I mentioned earlier, the Gulf Coast Regional here in Texas. I think of the first weekend in March. So thank you all for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for getting out there and supporting IDPA and supporting each other and supporting the shooting sports. Good to have shooting sports back up and running in 2021. It's nice to feel normal again, whatever that is. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Get out there, shoot another match this weekend. For those of you going to Florida, good luck to you, and we will talk to you again in episode 161 next time.